Hello students, in today's session we will be continuing with the discussion of Zoology paper 2024. Question number 175, given below are two statements, one is labelled as assertion A and other is labelled as reason R. So here the assertion says breastfeeding during initial period of infant growth is recommended by doctors for bringing a healthy baby. And the reason for this statement is colostrum contains several antibodies absolutely essential to develop resistance for the newborn baby. In the light of the above statement, choose the most appropriate answer from the options given below. तो बेटा दो statements हैं, एक assertion है और दूसरा उसका reason है. तो according to the assertion, the reason is the correct explanation for the assertion. So answer to this question is both A and R are correct and R is the correct explanation of A, because breastfeeding, that is lactation, is very essential during the initial phases of an infant. The reason is because colostrum, which is the first milk of the mother, it contains IgA antibodies and it provides passive immunity to a baby, because baby has a very weak acquired immunity. That is why it is very necessary for an infant to feed on mother's milk, because it will be providing passive immunity as the mother milk contain IgA antibodies. Which of the following factors are favorable for the formation of oxyhemoglobin in the alveoli? See, hemoglobin has the affinity for both oxygen as well as carbon dioxide. But at a particular time, hemoglobin will bind to which of the gas will depend on its partial pressure. So, if partial pressure of oxygen is higher, hemoglobin will bind to oxygen, and if partial pressure of carbon dioxide is higher, the hemoglobin is going to bind to carbon dioxide. So here the question is asking which of the condition will favor the formation of oxyhemoglobin. So obviously if the partial pressure of oxygen will be higher, the formation of oxyhemoglobin will be favored. So the answer to this question is option number 2. So high partial pressure of oxygen and lesser H plus ions concentration, because H plus ion concentration will increase when in the body there is higher concentration of carbon dioxide, because when there is higher concentration of carbon dioxide, H2CO3 is formed, and H2CO3 is highly unstable compound. So H plus, it dissociates into H plus and HCO3 minus. That is why higher concentration of H plus will be present only when there is higher concentration of carbon dioxide in the body. Okay, so oxyhemoglobin will be favored when there is higher concentration of oxygen and lesser concentration of H plus ions. Question number 177, match list 1 with list 2. List 1 and list 2, here are some diseases which are given in list 1. We have to match them with the options given in list 2. So first of all, you can see common cold. So common cold, it is a disease, it is a viral disease which is caused by rhinovirus, obviously. हीमोजोइन एक टॉक्सिन होता है, ये मलेरिया फीवर में प्रोड्यूस होता है, and it is produced by a protozoa known as plasmodium. That is, when protozoa plasmodium, it divides and multiplies itself inside the RBCs, and when the RBCs burst, they release this toxin which is known as हीमोजोइन, and हीमोजोइन is responsible for chills and rigor in a malaria infected patient. Then we have Vidal test. Vidal test is a diagnostic test which is used to confirm typhoid in a patient. And then we have allergy. Allergy, it is an exaggerated immune response whenever the immune system is hypersensitive towards any particle, that is called as allergy. And the common allergens, it can be dust, it can be hay fever is also a type of allergy, it can be pollen grains, it can be the silica particles, anything can cause allergy in a particular person. So here the correct match for allergy is dust mites. So the correct option for question number 177 is option number 3. Question number 178. Consider the following statements. Annelids are true coelomates, poriferans are pseudo-coelomates, 𝐷𝐚𝐻 are acoelomates, and platyhelminthes are pseudo-coelomates. So, coelom is basically a body cavity which is found between the outer body wall and the inner gut wall. इसके बीच का जो space है उसको हम coelom बोलते हैं, and coelom is derived from the germ layer mesoderm. ठीक है? So, annelids are true coelomate. This statement is absolutely right. Poriferans are pseudo-coelomate. No, poriferans, they are diploblastic. They do not have a mesoderm and they don't have a true body cavity. Then, 𝐷𝐚𝐻 are acoelomates. This is wrong. 𝐷𝐚𝐻 have a false body cavity, that is, it is called as pseudo-coelomates. Platyhelminthes are pseudo-coelomates. No, this is also a wrong statement, because as all of you know that platyhelminthes, they are first triploblastic animals, but they do not have a coelom, so they are acoelomate. So only A is correct in this question. So the option for this question is option number 2. Question number 179. Match list 1 with list 2. So here we have a list of some properties, that is intrauterine devices, given in list 1. We have to match them with list 2. So first of all, A is non-medicated IUD. Non-medicated IUD, it is 𝐷𝐵𝐴 loop. Copper releasing IUD, it is multi-load 375. Then hormone releasing IUD, it is written over here, hormone releasing IUD, it is 4th number, that is LNG20. And implants can be also used for contraception. So implants are progestogens, and these are used under the skin to provide contraception. So all the above mentioned list is of intrauterine devices except for implants, and the correct option for question number 179 is option number 4. Question number 180. Given below are two statements. Statement 1. In the nephron, the descending limb of loop of Henle is impermeable to water and permeable to electrolytes. In this statement, here it should be permeable to water and it should be impermeable to electrolytes. ठीक है? तो statement 1 is wrong. The descending limb of loop of Henle is permeable to water and impermeable to electrolytes. In statement 2, the proximal convoluted tubule is lined by simple columnar brush bordered epithelium and which increases the surface area for reabsorption. It is not lined by simple columnar, it is lined by cuboidal epithelium, which is brush bordered, that is, it consists of microvilli. So this statement is also wrong in this question. Statement 1 and statement 2 both are false in this statement. So the correct option is option number 2. Question number 181. The following diagram shown restriction site in E. coli cloning vector PBR322. Find the role of X and Y genes. Beta, X in this is basically a plasmid PBR322 which has been extracted, isolated from E. coli, and it in this figure, if you can see, there are various recognition sites shown for the restriction enzymes, okay? But here X and Y are mentioned, X and Y are given blank. So X is basically ori, that is origin of replication, and Y is ROP, okay? So here X is ori and Y is ROP. So in the given options, let us see which one is correct. The gene X is responsible for resistance to antibiotic and Y for the protein involved in the replication of plasmid. This is wrong. The gene X is responsible for controlling the copy number of the linked DNA and Y protein is involved for the replication of plasmid. This is a correct option for this question, but let us see the others also. The gene X is for protein involved in the replication of plasmid and Y for resistant. No, Y is not for resistant. The gene X is responsible for recognition sites and Y is responsible for antibiotic resistance. So 1, 3 and 4 options are incorrect. Option number 2 is correct for this question 181. Question 182. Match list 1 with list 2. So here are some options given in list 1. We have to match them with list 2. First is axonema. Bacho, axonema, it is a group of microtubules and it is usually found in cilia and flagella. Okay. Next is B, that is cartwheel pattern. Cartwheel pattern is found in centrioles and it has a 9+0 arrangement. Then there is cristae. Cristae is a part of the mitochondria, and obviously you have satellite. Satellite, it is the terminal most part of the chromosome. So here the correct option for this question is option number 4. Question number 183, match list 1 with list 2. We have some names of fishes which has been given in list 1. We have to match with list 2. So here you can see pterophyllum. Pterophyllum is angelfish. Then we have myxine. Myxine, it is called as hagfish. We have pristis. Pristis, it is a sawfish. And exochetus, it is a flying fish. So basically यहाँ पर myxine जो है, myxine is a cyclostomata and other belongs to pterophyllum, pristis, exochetus. They belong to a group of class Pisces. So here the correct option for this question is option number 4. Question 184. Again, we have to match the list 1 with list 2. If you can see in list 1, we have a group of joints given, and that is all the types of joints have been given, that is fibrous, cartilaginous and synovial joint. We have to match them with their correct match in list 2. So fibrous joints basically immovable type of joints होते हैं जो कि skull bones के बीच में पाए जाते हैं, that is frontal, parietal, temporal, occipital bones के बीच में जो joints बनते हैं उन्हें sutures बोलते हैं, and they are absolutely the bones are joined by fibers and they do not show any type of movement. So for option A, the correct match is 3. Then we have cartilaginous joint. Cartilaginous joint, they are present in adjacent vertebrae. They are present in adjacent vertebrae. Between the two vertebrae, the joint is cartilaginous. Then hinge joint. Hinge joint is present in knee. Knee is a type of hinge joint which is a type of synovial joint and which show movement. Ball and socket joint, it is present between humerus and pectoral girdle, that is here shoulder joint को भी हम ball and socket joint कहते हैं. So the correct option for this is option number 4. Question 185. Given below are two statements, statement 1 and 2. We have to identify which of the statement is true or false. Okay. So statement 1, the presence or absence of hymen is not a reliable indicator of virginity. Statement 2, the hymen is torn during the first coitus only. So hymen, it is a membranous covering which is present on the vaginal opening, and this partially covers the vagina. Basically, this is, it was considered earlier that it gets torn during the first sexual intercourse. But nowadays, since the women are engaged in various types of activities, like they go to offices, they are cycling, they are involved in sports activity. So the hymen can be torn due to any reason. So now the correct option for this question is statement 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. So option number 3, that is, it is not a reliable indicator of virginity. This statement is correct, and statement 2, it is false. We now come to section B. Section B, 186 question. Given below are two statements. Statement 1, Gauss's competitive exclusion principle states that two closely related species competing for different resources cannot exist indefinitely. But here cannot is wrong, they can exist indefinitely. So in this statement is wrong. Statement 2, according to Gauss's principle, during the competition, the inferior will be eliminated. This may be true if resources are limiting. This statement is absolutely right. So the correct option for question number 186 is option number 4. That is, statement 1 is false and statement 2 is true. Question number 187, match list 1 with list 2 related to the digestive system of cockroach. So in the list 1, we have some statements related to the digestive system of cockroach. We have to match them with list 2. So first is the structures used for storing the food. Here the correct option to this is crop. Ring of 6 to 8 blind tubules at the junction of foregut and midgut. This is option number 2, that is gastric cache. They are present at the junction of foregut and midgut. These gastric cache, they produce certain types of digestive juices which are responsible for the digestion of food. Then ring of 100 to 150 yellow colored thin filaments at the junction of midgut and hindgut. These are bachcho Malpighian tubules. Malpighian tubules are present at the junction of midgut and hindgut, and they are responsible to eliminate or excrete out the nitrogenous waste from a cockroach's body. The structures used for grinding the food, this is option number 1, that is gizzard. Gizzard consists of some chitinous plates which helps to grind the food. So the correct option for this question is option number 1. Question number 188. The following are the statements about non-chordates. We have to identify that which of the following statements are correct with respect to non-chordates. So, A, pharynx is perforated by gill slits. No, this is wrong for non-chordates because the pharynx is perforated for gill slits. This is present in chordates, not in non-chordates. Notochord is absent. This is true. Notochord is absent in non-chordates. It is present in chordates. Central nervous system is dorsal. This is a false statement with respect to non-chordates, because in non-chordates the nervous system is present ventrally. Heart is dorsal if present. So heart is dorsal if present. This is a right statement with respect to non-chordates, because in non-chordates heart is present at the back side, that is dorsally, and the nervous system is present ventrally, that is on the front side. And postanal tail is absent. This is also a true statement with respect to non-chordates, because in non-chordates postanal tail is absent and in chordates it is present. So the correct option for this question is option number 3, that is B, D and E are only correct with respect to non-chordates. Question number 189. Choose the correct statement given below regarding juxtamedullary nephron. So these are some statements which are given with respect to juxtamedullary nephrons. We have to choose the correct statement out of these. First is juxtamedullary nephrons are located in the columns of Bürtini. No, this is a wrong statement. Renal corpuscles of juxtamedullary nephron lies in the outer portion of renal medulla. No, it lies in the cortex. Only the loop of Henle runs deep into the medulla, not the renal corpuscle. Renal corpuscle will be present in the cortex part of the kidney. Loop of Henle of juxtamedullary nephron runs deep into the medulla. This is a right statement which I just now mentioned, that juxtamedullary nephrons, they run, inka loop of Henle, it runs deep into the medulla. And option number 4, juxtamedullary nephrons outnumber the cortical nephrons. This is a wrong statement. Juxtamedullary nephron are only 15% and cortical nephrons are 85%. So we can say that maximum number of nephrons in the kidney are cortical nephrons and very few are juxtamedullary nephrons. So the correct option for this statement is option number 3. Question number 190. Statement 1. The cerebral hemispheres are connected by nerve tract known as corpus callosum. Statement 2. The brainstem consists of medulla oblongata, pons and cerebrum. Out of the two statements, we have to choose whether both are correct, both are false, or one of them are correct. So in this question, if you can see, the first statement is true, because yes, the two cerebral hemispheres, they will be connected together with the help of corpus callosum, which is a nerve tract. Also, statement 2, brainstem, it is made up of medulla oblongata, pons, but your cerebrum is wrong. It consists of midbrain. So your statement 1 is right, but statement 2 is wrong. So statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is incorrect. This is a correct option. Option number 3 is the correct option for question 190. Question number 191. Again, we have two statements. Out of the two statements, we have to choose whether both are correct or one of them are correct. Statement 1. Bone marrow is the main lymphoid organ where all the blood cells including lymphocytes are produced. Statement 2. Both bone marrow and thymus provide microenvironments for the development and maturation of T lymphocyte. So, obviously bone marrow is the main lymphoid organ of the body, and this is a correct statement. Also, bone marrow and thymus, these are the place where the maturation and development of T lymphocytes occur. So statement 2 is also a correct statement. So here the option is both statement 1 and 2 are correct. So option number 1 is the correct option for question number 191. Question number 192. Regarding catalytic cycle of an enzyme action, select the correct sequential steps. A. Substrate enzyme complex formation. Free enzyme ready to bind with another substrate. Release of products. Chemical bonds of the substrate are broken. And substrate binding to active site. So we have to choose the correct sequence in which the enzyme acts on a substrate. Okay. So first is that you know that enzyme plus substrate, जब ये दोनों एक दूसरे के साथ इंटरैक्ट करते हैं तो एंजाइम की एक्टिव बाइंडिंग साइट पर आकर सबस्ट्रेट बाइंड करता है एंड एंजाइम सबस्ट्रेट कॉम्प्लेक्स इज फॉर्म्ड. तो फर्स्ट इज दिस, ठीक है. एंजाइम सबस्ट्रेट कॉम्प्लेक्स के फॉर्मेशन के बाद वी कम टू एंजाइम सबस्ट्रेट में बॉन्ड्स को ब्रेक डाउन करता है और सबस्ट्रेट को प्रोडक्ट में कन्वर्ट करता है. तो नेक्स्ट इज एंजाइम प्रोडक्ट कॉम्प्लेक्स बनता है. तो E के बाद आएगा A के बाद आएगा D. दिस इज 1, दिस इज सेकेंड नंबर इन सीक्वेंस, दिस इज थर्ड नंबर इन सीक्वेंस. देन द प्रोडक्ट एंजाइम is released and the product is released, that is fourth number is C. And now the enzyme, you can see it is also free to react with another substrate. So fifth number is this. The correct option for question number 192 is option number 1. Question number 193. Identify the correct option A, B, C, D with respect to spermatogenesis. So here there is a flow chart on hormonal regulation in male reproductive system. We have LH and here this is FSH. ठीक है. So if you can see that जो FSH होता है, it will act, LH will act on Leydig cells and FSH will act on Sertoli cells. FSH will act on Sertoli cells. Sertoli cells से कुछ factors release होंगे और ये factors बच्चों spermiogenesis. Spermiogenesis का मतलब होता है जब spermatids differentiate करते हैं sperms में, इसमें मदद करेंगे. ठीक है. LH एक्ट करेगा लेडिक सेल्स पे. लेडिक सेल्स विल सिक्रीट एंड्रोजन्स. एंड्रोजन्स में से एक हार्मोन है टेस्टोस्टेरॉन. टेस्टोस्टेरॉन विल हेल्प इन द प्रोसेस ऑफ फॉर्मेशन ऑफ स्पर्मेटिड्स, दैट इज स्पर्मेटोजेनेसिस में मदद करेगा. सो द करेक्ट ऑप्शन फॉर दिस इज ऑप्शन नंबर 1. Question number 194. Match list 1 with list 2. Here are some errors that has been given on list 1. We have to match them with list 2. That which era belongs to which type of animals. So, Mesozoic era was the era of birds and reptiles. Proterozoic era was the era of lower invertebrates. Cenozoic era was the era of mammals and Paleozoic era was the era of fishes and amphibians. So question number 194 का correct option is option number 4. Question number 195. 195, match list 1 with list 2. Here are some examples of glandular epithelium and epithelial tissues given in list 2. We have to match them with list 1. So, सबसे पहले unicellular glandular epithelium. This is This makes up the goblet cells of the alimentary canal. Compound epithelium means when the epithelial cells are present in multiple layers. उसको हम कहते हैं compound epithelium. So compound epithelium will be found in the moist surface of the buccal cavity. Multicellular glandular epithelium, it is found in the salivary gland. और जो endocrinal epithelium है, it is found in the pancreas. So 195 का correct option is option number 3. Question number 196, match list 1 with list 2. List 1 we have certain options given, we have to match them with list 2. RNA polymerase, as you can see, RNA polymerase, it is an enzyme which is used for snRNAs and tRNA. So RNA polymerase, it helps in the formation of snRNAs and tRNA. So A ka correct match is 4 of list 2. Termination of transcription. Transcription is terminated by rho factor. Splicing of axon, that is removal of introns. This process is done with the help of snRNPs. Tata box, it is a recognition sequence, and iska correct match is 2. So the correct option for 196 is option number 4. Question number 197. As per ABO blood grouping system, the blood group of father is B positive, mother is A positive, and the child is O positive. Their respective genotype can be. As you all know, blood group, it is controlled by I gene. I gene, you have 3 types of alleles of this gene, that is IA, IB and IO. IO is a recessive one. This is a recessive, this is dominant, and this is also dominant, right? So the mother has A blood group and father has O blood group. Sorry, the father has B blood group and their child has O blood group. तो बच्चों O blood group का एक ही जीनोटाइप हो सकता है because O is a recessive type. इसका जीनोटाइप हो सकता है II. And mother, ये जीनोटाइप तभी आएगा when the mother and father they are heterozygous. That means यहाँ होगा IAI और यहाँ होगा IBI. So the correct option is option number 1. Match list 1 with list 2. List 1, A is P wave. P wave is depolarization of atria. So this is a question on the ECG. ECG is a waveform which depicts the electrical activities of the heart, and with the help of ECG we can diagnose whether the heart is functioning normally or there is some dysfunction going on inside the heart. So P wave, this is something, this type of a complex which is formed. ये आपने generally ICUs में देखा होगा monitor पे चलते हुए PQRST. This P wave, it signifies depolarization of atria. Then you have QRS complex. QRS complex is depolarization of ventricles. T wave, it is repolarization of ventricles. And then you have TP gap. TP gap is a gap where the heart muscles are electrically silent. That means they are not doing any type of contraction. So the correct option for this question is option number 2. Question 199. Given below are two statements. Out of these two statements, we have to check whether they are false or true. Statement 1, mitochondria and chloroplast both are double membrane organelles. This is absolutely right. Statement 2, inner membrane of mitochondria is relatively less permeable as compared to chloroplast. Less की जगह यहाँ पर होना चाहिए था more. So statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is incorrect. So the correct option for question number 199 is 3. Question number 200. We have to match list 1 with list 2. Exophthalmic goiter. Exophthalmic goiter is caused due to hypersecretion of thyroid hormones. So the correct match for this is hypersecretion of thyroid hormones, and in this disease you can see that there is excessive protruding out of eyeballs just like a frog's eye, and you can see the patient has a very high basal metabolic rate. Acromegaly. Acromegaly is caused due to excessive secretion of growth hormone in adults, which results into a chimpanzee-like or a monkey-like face. So acromegaly, the correct option is, the correct match is 4. Cushing syndrome, it is caused due to the excessive secretion of cortisol. Cortisol is basically a type of glucocorticoids, and इसके excessive secretion से Cushing syndrome होता है. Moon-like face और hyperglycemia भी देखने को मिलता है. So इसका correct match is 1. Then you have cretinism. Whenever during pregnancy, if a mother suffers from deficiency of thyroid hormone, and in infants also if there is a deficiency of thyroid hormone, then that results into children with stunted growth. They are mentally retarded, their gonads are not properly developed. Such type of a disease is called as cretinism. So the correct match for this is 2. So the correct option for 200 is option number 4. Thank you, students.